Okay.
You're gonna cue the music then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right. All right.
Back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let me take.
We got Mr. Cool here today.
Mr. Always.
Always. Thanks
Always,
for being
yeah.
on the podcast,
Thanks.
man.
Thanks for having me.
AC/DC.
That's my favorite band. I love it. I will listen to it everywhere I go.
As per your request, Back in Black.
Yes, Back in Black. Well, you know, black almost.
It's a classic.
It is a classic.
Rock,
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
For anybody out there listening, thank you for watching. Subscribe to this podcast.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And be sure to like this video. And we got an awesome story, man. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Not just like it, just subscribe too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that plug there. But you've got a really interesting story that I really want to get into.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm an all open book, so.
Yeah, so.
Where to start?
Yeah, where to start? So you originally from Saudi Arabia.
Yep. I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. And went to school, high school, graduated. After high school, I worked for 1 year, but the goal mindset is to come to the U.S. And in like 19 almost, I was 19, I came here. So it's 2013, May. I still remember the day, May 9th, 2019. I came here to pursue my English, my aviation career, and now I'm doing my master's, so we'll see how it goes after. It's either PhD or maybe working. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
We've been able to do some shoots with you as well. I know you're into photography.
Oh, I love photography.
Nature, you know, Southern Illinois, you're a big proponent, and it seems like you know all the best spots around.
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to help, yeah. It's like when you come to, so I have a whole perspective about the United States. It's all about cities, big cities, and like when you go to the United States, you're gonna go and see skyscrapers and, you know, streets, big streets, and tourists everywhere. And it's like, I came here, and the first month I was like, nope, that's it. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back home. This is not what I wanted. You know, coming to Southern Illinois, and it's just a farm, you know, and
not necessarily what is depicted in the movies or what you see in big cities.
At all, because I came right to the biggest airport around us is St. Louis, Lambert. So I landed there. Somebody picked me up. I didn't know the language, so I didn't know how to talk to people at all. So he picked me up, ran me to Carbondale, and like he said, "You're by your own." And like he helped.
Wow.
He like opened a bank account. He found me a place to stay. And the first month it was hard because I don't know how to communicate with people. The only people I know is the Saudi people because I know them and they were willing to help. But it was hard because it was like the whole perspective. It's like you're going to see big cities, big skyscrapers, and, you know, different. It's like the movies, exactly. But after 3 months, I fell in love. I was like, you know what? I'm glad that I'm here, not in the big cities.
That's good.
Yeah.
So how did you find Southern Illinois? Was there a program that you had?
Yeah, my dad in the aviation field too. So when it was like going back a little bit. So when I was almost maybe middle school, he used to take me with him to the airport in his night shift sometime. And you know, as a kid, you're not supposed to touch your airplanes, nothing to do anything with them because basically he worked in an Air Force base, and I had to just enjoy the planes and how the people work and communicate around it. I don't understand anything because they speak English at the time back there. And, you know, I grew up having this mindset. I was like, I want to do aviation. It doesn't have to be like anything. Flying, maybe fixing, anything with aviation, maybe airports, anything. If I see airplanes, that's when I want to go. So after high school, I asked my dad, like, I want to go and do the same thing you did because he was in the U.S. He studied in Georgia Tech. And for his, I think Georgia Tech, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. If you're listening, he's probably going to correct me. I don't know. Yeah. But he studied for 3 years to be an aircraft mechanic. At the time, he wasn't married yet, but when he got back, he got married. He had us. So that's how I kind of got into aviation. But then when I asked him after high school, he said, well, I know somebody who worked with me who go to a university in the U.S. and he studied aviation. And short enough, he contacted him and he said, can you apply for my son? And he applied for me and we got it. I didn't get admitted. I got admitted with a condition I have to finish the English school first. And it was excitement, you know, I'm going to go to the U.S. I'm only 18, maybe 19 at the time. I've never traveled outside the country before.
Wow.
So I was excited and nervous at the same time. Because you don't know. It's like, are you going to like it? People going to hate you, like you? You don't know. But then it's the guy who kind of took care of me the first couple of weeks, going around buying groceries, finishing my paper stuff with even school, bank, and renting a place and stuff like that. It was his last semester for SIU, and he graduated and left because in May he left. I came in May. So he basically set me up and he just left. He didn't leave back home. He went to, I think, to Missouri to finish his master's in aviation safety. So we kind of kept in touch. He came to visit a couple times, and I didn't start school yet. I didn't start aviation. I just started English school. They call it Cecil here at SIU, and Center of English as a Second Language. And most of it as are international. We have Brazilian, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, Saudis. It was popping Saudi students. We have over maybe 500 students at the time.
Wow.
And it's crazy, like a lot. I found it a hard time to practice the English because you're always hanging out with the Saudis. And we don't speak English at the time. We go to school, but after school we're just hanging out with each other. We don't practice English. So it wasn't helpful until it got by the time in 2014 and 15 when I was still in the English school, most of the students graduated, so we left with the most international, so we were forced to use the English, and that helped too. So yeah.
And so how familiar with American culture are you at this time? Is it?
Oh, it was definitely not like what I thought. People stuff your brain with words, and especially it's like they're gonna hate you, they're not gonna like you, they're not gonna treat you well, and I found it hard to understand why. It's like if I come peaceful and trying to introduce myself, smile all the time, and I've never have any issue with any either international or American against me because of how I look. It's all reflective how I react to what they say to me and how I treat them, how I approach them, and that kind of changed because literally a whole different perspective from what I got from back home than when I got here and got to know the people. I still listen from people when they say, hey, they're still not good, whatever. I was like, have you lived here? Have you are you treating the people the same way I'm treating them? It's totally different. But I found it really fascinating in a good way. And I've never had any bad experience with anybody, any racials or anything like that against me. Nothing. Yeah. Which is good.
That is, yeah. I mean, you are told this, something you hear, from people.
Oh, yeah, because people listen to the media all the time.
The media.
And when you grow up in a different culture, you will listen to, people saying about, our culture is the right one, because they grew up in that. Our religion's the right one. And I get it, it's their opinion, but you cannot judge all people based on an active couple or, which is not right, because I'll feel the same thing if everybody judged me based on where I'm from because of a certain group of people did something stupid. I'll be really mad at it. It's like, why? I didn't do anything with it. So.
Anytime, you said it, getting to know those people, even anytime I've been anywhere, that's what, is really the culture, how you immerse yourself in that, right? You meet the people, you go to cafes, you go out, and you just make, you just immerse yourself. I had one of my Saudi friends. He went to a different state for his PhD, and he came to visit this summer, and he was staying with me for a little bit. And we were hanging out somewhere. I think it was in Giant City. If you don't know Giant City, it's like a perfect place in Southern Illinois to go and hike and find a good spot for campfire and stuff like that. And great outdoors.
A great outdoors area. Big. I haven't discovered it yet all, but it's beautiful. And I was there hanging out with him and a couple other friends, and I saw a couple old people walking by with their dog, and I kind of like their dog. So it's like, hey guys, I like your dog. And we started talking for a little bit, maybe 2 minutes. Then they left. And my friend said, hey, Alowais, I just want to ask you a question. I was like, go ahead. He said, have you ever have any bad experience with approaching anybody you don't know that you want to talk with? And I was like, I've never have any. And he said, how? And I said, well, I don't come aggressive to them. I'm interested in something they have, and they will feel prideful to talk about it. When you come and compliment somebody on something they have, they immediately want to tell you about it. They don't want to reject you and feel weird about you, They will immediately come and they want to tell you stories about it. And I found it fascinating because I will have the same thing with me, because I'm not gonna just come to people and say, hey, look what I have, look what I have. You know, people will approach me based on what I have, based on how I look. Like, they were interested in the smile, they're interested in how you look at them and, you know, talk. And I said, that's it, that's what happened. Like, I've never had any bad experiences. And the courage that I got from doing it is because I've never had any bad experience. Maybe he had bad experience, that's why he never approached people like that.
Well, I think that's kudos to you. You know, that shows, you know, what type of energy and your intention is whenever you're going out and just living life, you know, whether it's on the hike or at the cafe or at the university.
In the university, I got known really quick because I was involved in school, and not just in anything with school, but I'll be in school hanging out all the time. When I post stuff, I'll post stuff from the school, tag the school. School's like, who's this guy? He's just doing all the thing we're not asking for him to do. I'll just promoting them for nothing. And they were like, they start kind of recognize me in many different ways. Since I came to SIU, I went to maybe for the past almost 10 years to almost 12 graduation that it's not mine.
That's a lot of graduations.
Yeah, and it's not mine. And the only reason I went to it is because I want to meet people that I don't know. People I don't know when they graduate, I'll just congratulate them. And I was like, who's this guy? I think I know him. You know what I mean?
It's a great way to connect with alumni.
Like,
Fresh.
Oh, a lot. Especially if you have a camera with you. Everybody will approach you. Hey, can you take our picture? I was like, yeah, sure. I'll send it to you later. And that's how I did it for some time, you know. It's kind of cool.
That is cool. That's smart, man. I would never have thought of that at that time.
Yeah.
I was always sitting in graduation thinking, I would go to family's graduations and like, oh man, when can we get out of this gym? That was always what I thought.
And I always get interested in like, when is me next? Who's going to come?
Sure.
But then, sure enough, graduate during COVID, and I didn't have a graduation ceremony. So I didn't have a graduation yet. But hopefully for my master's. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So what is the best part of that SIU experience, you think?
The different culture. Well, I'm very blessed that I had to experience a lot of different culture experiment in the school, because we had a lot of international students. In some schools, you will be limited with the international student. For our school, despite what we're going through, we have a lot of international from different countries, from Europe, from the Middle East, from Africa, and you get to know everybody's perspective in life when you hang out with those people. And it will actually change your perspective, even in school, even treating people. It's totally different. It's like, that's the best thing about SIU. I feel like the culture, they make you welcome all the time. Like, most of the staff, the people I dealt with for the international office, they always welcome you. Any issue they have, they will help you. Especially if you're international. Immigration rules, it's just certain ways that sometimes you will miss them because you don't know about them. But when you go to the international office, they actually help you with them. And especially like with classes, like if you're a bachelor student, you have to have 12 credit hours, and most of the people don't know about it. They will end up having an immigration notice in their home because they didn't realize for a whole semester they were doing, maybe 9 hours, maybe 11. It's missing 1 hour credit class, and they get an issue with an immigration because of that. They didn't know about it. They will be good in school and everything, but they will be kicked out based on enrollment.
Well, it's so good to have people like that to help you navigate those complicated systems, like whether it's with the government, to have, even if it's English as a second language, right, to have a point of contact to help you integrate.
I had the best English teacher, despite the experience that most people had. They didn't like it. Cecil was literally my second home. I was having all my classes there at Fainor Hall. It's the oldest building at SIU. And I've never go to anywhere except the library, maybe if I want to study. I didn't have a car at the time. I live across the street from the campus, so I just walk to it. And it's literally my second home. I'll be waking up, going there, breakfast, maybe lunch sometime. We'll have it at the student center. Excuse me. And you have good relationship with your advisors, with your teachers, and they have a lot of activities for international students that help develop the English skills. And I attend to most of it. And I got well known by it because I was like, every time they have something, I will go to it. But because of the culture we have, there's a lot of Saudis, a lot of international. They're like kind of divided in groups. I'm talking about the students. Mm-hmm. So as soon as they finish classes, they will go and hang out together, not in the environment of kind of school. I was not like that. I was like definitely not like that. So
wanting to get that diversity, that melting pot.
Oh yeah,
that's really
one of the big advantages that I had that with my English skills and the language, it's because I did that. I know a lot of people. I don't like to compare myself with people, but I was always struggling with understanding English, and I've always doubt myself that how I'm gonna speak, how I'm gonna understand people. For 2 years, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna finish English school. Matter of fact, in 2 years, I didn't finish English school. I ended up going back home because I thought this is it.
Really?
Yeah, in 2015, in May 2015 was my last semester because I didn't get a certain grade to get admitted to school. I had to go back home.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went back home and I was like devastated because 2 years, all the dream. It's like, you know what I'm gonna do? And I got admitted in a like a British company. It's called BEA system in their program for training to be an fighter jet mechanics. And I did that program, and they accept me because of my English skills. I was high comparing to the people who's doing it back home, but it's not high enough for me to go to school here. So yeah, so I was like, sure, I'm gonna apply to it, and I applied to it, and they admit me because of my English. The program will not start until the next year, until January. So from May until January, I said, I have time. I could go back to Southern Illinois, sell my stuff, and get everything done, then come back again and start the program. But I said, you know what? One last chance. I'm gonna do a test, the Toefl test. Have you heard about Toefl? It's like, I don't know what it stands for exactly, but it's like an English-based skill test for an international student. You have to get a certain grade to get admitted to a different school, and every school have a different requirement for grade. Like for us, I think it was a 61. It's 120. The actual test is 120. You can get 120 grade in it, and to get into the school, to get fully admitted to the school, you have to have 61. I took the test 12 times before I went back home. The highest I got was 55, and I had to pay for the test. You know how frustrated I was? It was crazy. I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What was that desire that kept making you take the test?
Well, first of all, I was under a scholarship from my government saying you have 2 years to finish English school. They will pay for the test, but I have to pay for it, but they will reimburse me for it. So in 2 years, I was forcing myself to take the test so I can pass it and go to school so I get the different scholarship to actually get paid and, go to school. Like an advanced level, whatever. And so 12 time, didn't pass it. And the last time, I know my ticket to go to the U.S. again, it was August, I don't remember exactly when, it was 3 days or 4 days before actual semester started, spring semester, or fall. It's fall or spring? What did August semester start?
It's fall.
It's fall. So 2 days or 3 days before my flight, and it's like, I'm going to schedule one test. I'm going to take it home. I'm going to tell them to send the grade to the international office here or admission. And if I get it, I get it. If I didn't, I'm going to sell my stuff and come back. I took the test. The night before, I didn't sleep. I was stressed about it. I even slept over to my aunt's house because the testing center was close into her house. And I woke up in the morning and took the test. I know I failed it, but I didn't know yet. I said, I didn't do good because I didn't study. I didn't do anything.
Really? So you hadn't studied?
I hadn't studied. I was like, I'm going to go and shoot my shot. If I get 61, that's perfect. Because I know my English skills. 2 years in English, they always, I know how to talk to people a little bit. I know how to write. I know the grammar. Still maybe some issues. But when you go take this test, it's more professional English. You have to actually dig and get perfect score to get admitted.
I wonder how many average Americans could even write that well.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, here's the thing: people they don't require the American to take it. You have the different test. What is
ACT,
it?
SAT.
SAT.
Then there's an English part.
Of it, but for us international, you have to have that specific test. Every school have different standards. So our school was 61. So I took the test. Next morning, flew to the U.S. I didn't even have a place, so I stayed with my friend for 3 nights. And then Tuesday, I remember it, Tuesday morning, school start next Monday. Tuesday morning, the week before school start. I got an email from admission. We received your grade. You got 61, fully admitted to SIU. I was like,
wow.
What? I couldn't
awesome.
believe
Get a round of applause for that.
Yeah, which one's on? There it is.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I was like, there's no way. I had to check. And
2 applauses.
Two
for
applauses
that.
for
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
It was hard. I couldn't believe it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the international office and make sure they actually got my grade. Sure enough, I went there and I got my grade and said, yeah, you got 61. I was like,
wow.
So now I have 2 choices. school starting a week. My new program that I went and applied for the British company back home will start in January. And it's a big company, and the benefits to work there, it's the highest aviation company to pay their workers.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's in the military, you know, in the military there's a lot of money.
A lot of big contracts.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of big contracts. And they were with the Saudi Air Force for the past maybe 70, 50 something years. So they're big. And so I said, you know what? They don't know. And they're not going to start the school until January. They're training. Let me start one semester. Start one semester, bombed it. Failed 2 classes in aviation because of the English. Because it's technical English, not actually English, the school that you went to. And this is it. That's two classes you fail. What are you going to start? Like,
Aviation's hard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's hard, especially if you're a mechanic. You have to understand the technical words. And all, like, it's not about math. It's like, it's all about, like, how to put stuff together, understanding the terminology of words, like aviation. It's complicated. Yeah. And you don't want to get anything wrong. I don't get it. You can't, because, the aviation, man. It's
a high risk.
People,
if
because
that happens,
they always want you to get zero risk in aviation.
Big consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you do anything wrong, man, you're in trouble. You're going to lose your job, and after that, you're going to maybe lose your career and everything, and you lose your life. You'll be charged with a lot of stuff. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I said I'm going to start school. First semester, bombed it. I couldn't do anything. Then, by the end of the semester, I get an email from the British company. They said, because of your English score, you're one of the people that recommended to go and study in the United Kingdom for a specific airplane. And I think it was the Typhoon. It's the fighter jet. It's called the Typhoon.
Wow.
And because of your English, you don't have to worry about going to English school. They will send you there because you can start the training immediately. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't catch a break. I can't do that, because I finally got the scholarship from my government to start school here. And it's much better. Well, it's not much better, but you can finish and get your bachelor. For the British company, they will only send you for your associate. And you cannot exceed after that. You cannot go over. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to email them and tell them I already have a scholarship from the government. They're welcome to take over and just let me study what I want to study here. They didn't respond to my email. I was like, that's okay. Start next semester. And at the time, I lived with them. For 2 years before I started school, I lived by myself. So English was all just practice by my own.
And when you're watching TV, does that help?
Oh, TV. I remember my dad when he first said, when I went to the US, he said, never turn off the TV, even if you're not watching it. Yeah. So your ear will train to listen. And that's what I did. I've never turned off the TV. SpongeBob was in it all the time. I got tired of his laugh. It's like, all the time. I was like, oh my God. But like my ear kind of got into the listening part of like you catching the word easily. And that helped too. And also reading. He was telling me to read even if I don't understand. If you remember, there's a small magazine they sell like in gas station and grocery shops called Readers. I don't know if you know it. So my dad in the 80s, he used to read it a lot. And back home in his library, he have a lot of copies from it. And he always said, readers have a different subject, different articles about anything in life, anything. Like article about health, article about politics, about aviation sometime. And he said, read, even if you don't understand. Just train your eyes to kind of follow the words and the line and kind of understand the spelling of words. And that's what I did all the time. And that helped too. But when I started in 2015, when I started school, I moved to a different apartment complex, and I chose to have an American roommate. So an American roommate, that means the English will help a lot. And sure enough, we had a lot of practice. English, I got the slang, talking every morning, every night. It helped a lot. He will invite his friends sometime, and I don't like them sometime, but it's the English they bring with them. It's what I got. It helped a lot. Yeah.
As much exposure as you can.
Oh yeah. Because at the time I was like, I'm not even comfortable to make friends yet with Americans. Most of my friends are international. It's not yet Americans. So that's what helped too, because it got me to meet some of his friends and got me comfortable to kind of reach out to people that I don't know and make friends with them too. Yeah. That what got me into aviation. But now I'm done with school and doing my master's in aviation administration and political science.
So there's some time
public
in between
administration.
there, 2015. Because I was at SIU at that time too.
Oh, wow.
I was in mass comm, doing cinema, photography, and theater.
Okay.
And I graduated 2016.
You probably,
Reese, were you there at that time?
you graduated in
I'm not sure.
You graduated in 2016?
2016 from SIU.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in 2016.
Okay.
I might have one of my friend who's used to be your classmate.
Really?
Maybe.
Nice.
Tessa, I don't know her
Oh,
last
yeah.
name.
Oh, yeah.
Is she classmate?
Tessa.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
one of my
Yeah,
friends.
we all
and-
went to school together.
Yeah. So I remember her because she went to SIU and I know her, but I didn't know that she went to school with exact department.
Shout out Tessa. Are you listening?
Yeah, I know.
She's out there.
Yeah, we miss you. We haven't seen you for a while.
Right.
So yeah.
If you're out there, hi.
Nice.
But there's some time between there. So 2015 to now. So you've been in Southern Illinois since then, pretty much?
Yeah, since 2013 exactly.
Since 2013.
Yep. So by next May 2023, I'll be here for 10 years exactly.
Wow.
So it passed by really quick, but it passed with a lot of stories, a lot of good experience, a lot of good people. I traveled a lot. I visited almost 23 states.
Wow. So you've seen a lot of the U.S.
Yeah, I haven't covered all the states yet, but I visited most of the states. The benefit of living in Southern Illinois, it's not expensive. So when I was under the scholarship, they get in the tuition waived. They pay the tuition and they pay me salary like allowance to kind of pay for my rent and for my food, my gas, my car, whatever, insurance and stuff like that. And I'm good managing my money. So I managed a lot of money to save, and if I want to travel, I could travel. It helped a lot. So I did traveling a lot towards my bachelor degree time, covering most of the states. And but now it's because it's a different story. I haven't traveled since 2019, but because different COVID hit and lost the scholarship. I don't have a scholarship anymore, and I work for the school. The school's not paying enough as much. It's all complicated, but I know it's gonna go away, and I'm gonna start my journey again and
definitely
go to different
I've been
states.
the same way. I love to travel, get out and see. America has so many different regions. It's so diverse.
Oh yeah, and every state have a different vibe and different people. Different culture, different. I don't know. It's amazing.
Do you have any favorite spots outside of Southern Illinois?
So
you've been to in the US?
so I've went to. So Oregon is my favorite state I've been to so far. I call it heaven and earth, and I went to it in 2017, and I went to it in August for a week to visit a friend who has a scholarship, not scholarship, but no internship for the summer. So I visited her for a week, and man, I fell in love with that state. It's the nature, the weather, it's beautiful. And when I go, they're known for getting rain a lot. So 9 months of the year, they will have rain. But when I was there for 10 days almost, no rain at all.
Wow.
So I was lucky. Every Uber I jumped with, it's like you came in the right time because there's no rain.
Yeah.
So I visited most of the beaches, most of the spillways, and me and my friend we hiked Mount Hood Mountain. It's beautiful in August, and it was green in the bottom, and the top was snow. It was beautiful, man.
That's an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it. But there's definitely some states that I really liked. Went to Colorado, went to Utah skiing.
So nature's a big thing.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
I love because I grew up in a culture. I haven't seen nature a lot. I live in. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I grew up in Saudi, in the capital, Riyadh. And Riyadh, I live in the city. In the city, it's more like skyscrapers, highways, and neighborhoods and stuff like that. If you want to go out, we go camp in the winter. I don't remember if I camped, but we went hanging out with friends and family. We have outside of the city, we have almost an hour drive, maybe less. It depends where you live in the city. Outside the city, we have a big desert. A big, really desert, sand, and and people go and I don't know what they call it with their car. Is it drifting? It's not drifting, or maybe off-roading, and it's beautiful. I don't know if you can pull some picture. You can show it. But
sure.
You can type Saudi Arabia desert and see how it looks.
Yeah.
And not Aramco. Aramco's the oil company. It's the biggest oil company in the world.
Yeah.
How big what was the capital city?
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
So Riyadh almost as big as New York.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and
It's
that's
huge.
that's the capital of and it's growing. Man, I haven't seen it for the past almost 5 years, but it's growing in a different way. It's people
yeah.
keep telling me it changed. You have to come and visit. Well, definitely I will go visit. But
Okay. So,
yeah, so look, yeah, this is technically like, well, this guy probably from Emirates, but you don't. But most of the people will go and visit those areas and, you know, off road all the time. This is not Saudi. This is Emirates or Dubai, but this is all Saudi. Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, so you go and see it,
Wow.
and I don't know if the cameras see it, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's amazing, and people go off road in the winter. People, despite how big as the desert is, we get cold weather, and really cold, and it's dry, cold. You feel it. So the lowest here will get probably 20, 23, something like that. Back home, the lowest maybe 35, maybe 40, but it's considered cold, really cold over the winter.
Yeah.
So people will love and go camp, and they camp over there, and they enjoy it. I mean, it's beautiful. They do hunting, SIUC hunting actually. They do hunt rabbits, and sometimes they do hawk. Is it hawk? Hawks?
Yeah.
Something like
The
Hunting,
bird,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. They do
Falcon.
sometimes, and they
Yeah.
train them. And it's a big deal. Camels, man. People are big about camels. Drinking their milk and, you know, sell them. It's a big economy back home.
Really?
It's
Travel on them?
camels. Yeah.
It's cool.
And I've heard
They have.
yeah.
So here they have horse shows all the time, right? Back home, every year they have a camel show.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
people
awesome.
will be selling camels and sometimes race, like they race camels, and yeah,
Let's see.
it's crazy, wild. Yeah.
I've heard the infrastructure in Saudi is pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Now it's changed. It's you can pull. There's I think the king. I think his name King Abdullah Financial City, Saudi Arabia. King Abdullah Financial City. I think. Yeah, this is it. This is like right in the center of Riyadh. Not with the lake. This one exactly.
This one here?
Yeah, this is it. So the center of Riyadh, it's almost by they call it the Kingdom Tower, all the way in the back there. And that, I don't know if you can see the picture over here, but
Oh. There we go. That was better.
Can I do this?
Yeah.
so
Oops.
so you don't have to open it, but you can see the back there. They call it the Kingdom Tower, and that's one of the biggest tower when it first started back in Saudi. I forgot what his name, Prince Al Walid, whatever his name. He built it. There's like a hotels, a supermarket, you know, a lot of companies over there. And at the time, I think they opened it in 95, 96. I don't remember, maybe 2000. I don't really remember, but it was big at the time. That area, it wasn't populated at all. No houses, nothing over there. So now I think they fully opened this, and they have a metro too, metro system, underground metro. I think they're gonna open the metro soon. They're already done with the like underground tunnels and everything, because they dig the tunnels for almost 3-4 years to kind of cover the whole city.
Wow, so they're preparing for 100 year.
Oh man,
You know, that reminds me of like New York back in the early.
It changed. I wish they have a satellite picture from before and after, and you'll see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
And that's in Riyadh. That's the capital. Most of the different big cities, like when you go to Mecca, Medina, when they have the big mosque for Muslims, they have some big development. Not as much as Riyadh, but the big development over there, it's more like hotels, most companies, you know, for people to kind of stay. Actually, I don't know if you know that, the tallest tower building, clock tower in the world, it's in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah, you can search it, you can see it. So this is Mecca, and the tower's right next to the big mosque, and you will see this is probably an old picture from it.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you go, this is it. This is before they finish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is before they finish. All these buildings, small buildings, are hotels. They have a big museum about the culture, about...
I see the clock tower.
Yeah,
there
it
it is.
Yeah, exactly. So the clock tower now, it's the biggest clock tower in the world. It's bigger than the one in, what is it?
Big
London?
Big Ben and everything, yeah.
It looks huge.
It's huge. Like when you put a comparison, like a chart, and then we'll tell you different buildings, you will see the different. I don't know exactly how tall it is, but it's huge. You can just see the how it looks. And I was there before they finish it, and when I saw it, man, it's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen picture of people taken from the top of it, when the people finishing by the arch, and
the craziest one.
Yeah, it's the biggest building. It's how is it? 1972 feet tall.
That's like almost like 2 miles tall.
Almost.
Well, no, wait.
No,
Miles
5,000.
5,000.
Half a mile. Half a mile.
Half mile. Yeah.
Still.
It's huge.
So if you unwrapped a track, like 2 times, yeah,
it's wild. And when they finish it, did they tell you when they finish
Let's see.
2012.
2012.
Well, technically 2012 when they actually kind of opened it, because they were still working on it, and I think they still
how
do.
How much are like is and before we were recording we were talking about YouTube and cultural, like how you maybe you can take us like how you were more exposed to that. I know you said you had a roommate
here
that really helped you when you were living with someone that spoke English. Did that at that point really hit the gas on you?
Well,
getting the nuances of like American life.
So kind of, yeah. YouTube and stuff. I don't remember posting anything, but I was all about photography, all about nature back home. Back home, we have a small garden by our house, and I don't have a camera at the time. And I think iPhone 5, no, not 5, maybe iPhone 2 or 3, something came out, and my mom got it, and I was like fascinated by the camera quality. I was still in her phone just to take a picture of the flowers and small insects, and I would love it. At the time, we couldn't be able to afford like a professional camera. I don't have a camera at the time, so I was like all taking picture with like my mom phone. I was fascinated about it, and I liked it. And it happened to me after, I think when I was sophomore in high school. I asked my uncle, I was like, the only thing I really want is a camera. And he was in the US at the time, and he can make money because he worked with the embassy at the time. And I asked him, can I have a camera? And sure enough, when he came to visit, he had a camera. He gave me my first camera. I still have Canon 600. And
that's a good uncle right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. But he didn't give me any lens, but he just gave me the camera. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Good start. So that kind of got me into photography. I wasn't even into getting picture of people or anything, and I was just taking picture of everything that I could do, like nature, animals, lakes and stuff like that. It kind of helped me a lot because Southern Illinois we have a lot of nature spots. And that's
one of the best resources here.
Yeah, that's what it helped me a lot.
Do you have any shots on your Instagram we can?
Oh, probably. Some
of the photography.
No. Yeah,
go to Instagram dive.
Go to my account, and then now you'll see some of the nature. Yeah, like this is Jackson Falls. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but Jackson. Yeah, I went to this. What is it? Last May. I went to it many times, but I haven't even had the opportunity to take pictures and have a good time with it. But
got the waterfall going.
Got a waterfall.
Got the rock face.
And
huge.
This surprisingly, I think this Southern Illinois Discover or something like that. They just reposted this. I was like, okay. And they tagged me in it. I was like, sure, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And actually, you've helped us. We've done some shoots as well.
Yeah.
Some hiking.
I'm excited to see the result.
Right.
Man. I was for a whole almost year now, isn't it?
Yeah. Coming up this fall.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see it, man. I'm
yeah.
excited,
so, and you've gotten more into photography since you've been here.
Oh yeah. So starting in 2013 almost, we had a Saudi club. So I was more involved with the Saudi club as their photographer. Like I will take picture for their events and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's not the decent pictures, but I was the only one who has a camera for free.
Yeah.
And just do it for free as a club. And it's good for me, consider as a voluntary work on my CV. So I was with them since 2013, doing just picture for events. Sometimes they will have me for graduation, taking picture for specific Saudi students. I will do that. And it got me into like how to edit perspective and lighting and stuff like that, construct. And in 2019 was actually Bloom, or maybe 18. It's when SIU started a sport team for soccer for girls. I was like, you know what? That's an opportunity I want to do because I've never took sport photography, and I've always seen that's something that maybe SIU need to do more about. They always cover the men teams more than the women. And I said, you know what? I have the resource, I have the camera, and have everything. Let me just do it. So I was just carrying my camera, going to the soccer games and just walk in. They will let me in because I have a camera, and I'll take pictures of the players when they play, of the actions and everything, and I will edit it and I will send it immediately to the players. I don't send it to their coach or anybody, just to the players. When I post it, I will tag them in it, or I'll just send it to them immediately. Sure enough, girls talk, man, and my name popped in the soccer team. And you know, the soccer team, they always hanging out with the other women teams like volleyball, basketball, baseball, or softball. So I got approached by many girls saying, hey, can you come to this specific game to take our pictures? I said, sure. How much? And I was like, for free. I'm just going to come and do it. Sure enough, doing it, I got reached out by their sport media director. He said, hey, would you be interested in to be like a sport media photographer for SIU in general? I said, sure. And he gave me a pass for a sport season, for any sport I want.
Very cool.
But I wasn't covering the men's because they have a lot of publicity already. So I was just doing the girls. And they enjoyed it. And that's how I made more friends.
Sure.
You know, because in my mindset, it's not to do anything stupid. It's like, I don't want to do anything. But it's just taking the pictures and give it to them for free. And that they appreciated that. So I did that. And that helped me with kind of editing. Because sports, you do people by movement and, you know, taking the shots. It helped a lot. So
a lot of action.
Oh, a lot of action, man. And they loved it. I have a cool like some of my favorite pictures I actually printed and framed it and signed it and I gave it to the player when they senior night.
Cool.
Because it's one of my favorite pictures. I got it in actions and I loved it. And it's like, there's no way I'm going to keep this for a while. I have to to give it to the person.
Yeah.
They have the digital copy of it, but it's going to be really memorable if you give them one signed by the actual photographer. And I did that for like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. Some of them now, they either, I think one in Utah, one in maybe Arizona, I think, something like that. And
they'll have those hanging on their walls probably for
I hope so.
forever.
Or maybe in their family houses.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. A memory, right? Looking back at their high school or their college athletic career, right? I think appreciate that.
That would be cool.
And that's, you know, that's really cool that you did that. You had the tenacity to just want to shoot photos, meet people.
Oh yeah, that helped a lot.
That's one thing a camera can do.
Oh,
it
yeah.
can get you indoors.
Exactly.
It can get you right next to like whoever you want to be next to. Really,
exactly. Yeah.
Really, camera is
the thing is
a vehicle for that.
I get approached by many people now because they want me to take their like either wedding or engagement, and I don't know if I could do it because the skills, man. There's a lot of good talented people around me, and I was like, I would not recommend me to take picture for people like for their wedding, especially because like I don't ruin their special night. I can't do that.
Well,
so I
can always learn.
Exactly. It could I've suggested I could be a second photographer. So I could be a second photographer with somebody who's actually doing the wedding.
That'd be a good way to get your foot in the door.
Yeah. And I've did a lot of graduation, like a senior graduation pictures, like one-on-one. People will ask me to come to the ceremony. I was like, no, let's do it before or after, because I don't like too much pressure of like everybody will know you. Everybody will like, can you take my picture? But if you book with me, I will do it for you. And I did that for and my biggest one I did this last semester. I did 7 photo shoots for 7 different people.
Wow.
Just for graduation. Yeah, seniors.
That's good.
I loved it. Because I do much better if I do portrait pictures. So it's just for like single people, maybe couple. I'll do couple like for a couple students together if they're classmates. Yeah.
I think weddings are, depending, a natural transition. Obviously, we're very involved in the wedding industry, wedding business.
Huge fan, man. It's crazy.
It's good for you. We love the industry, and it is intimidating. We've been in weddings for like 10 years, so we've sort of seen and been to a lot of weddings, right? That we have that experience, but there's a format like to anything else, right? There's a rhythm, there's like a flow, normal cadences, like a typical day and a structure that you can follow.
Yeah.
And, we have too many weddings. Really, we've had to unfortunately start turning down weddings.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because we're just...
You're booked?
We're too booked, and we don't have enough people to shoot, because we're doing people wanting us to do photos and video.
And videos,
yeah.
And then you have to edit them and post everything,
Which is fine, but Reese and I are just two people, so.
Oh, yeah. Only 2 in the company?
Well, we've had Jared. We've shot with Jared. Jared shot with Crown Brew.
Okay.
We've had him
definitely collaborate
season
with other people when we can.
Right.
That's
so
good,
we do, but not like permanently. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so it could be something.
There's a lot of photographers. They need jobs. If you need people, I know a lot of people. but I don't know
Well,
how much to pay.
you know,
it's hard.
and being able to recommend, you know, you want to, you know, make sure it's the right fit and that quality is going to be there. Because like you said, at weddings, you do not want to, you
cannot miss it. It's one night. If you miss it, what are you going to tell the people?
We say there's no redos and I do's.
Oh, yeah, that's a good statement. Yeah, that's a good one.
So you got to be there and you got to get it. Oh, got to catch it.
Exactly, man. This is the pressure. I can't.
Yeah.
I will do couples, not engagement, because engagement I feel like I don't get like it's just too creepy for me. I don't know why. I don't like it.
I feel like it's like a niche. Like there's got it. Like certain people are like
Yeah.
specialize in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, newborn photography. There's different niches. Like we mostly do video, right?
Okay,
That's what we're
yeah.
focused on. Podcasting, you know, video production.
Yeah.
But with the weddings, you know, White Oak Wedding Films, you know, shout out. We'll see. You know, we might have to have you on a shoot or something, man.
Oh,
one of
it
these
would be
days.
amazing if I
Dude,
do.
that'd be
It would
cool.
Yeah.
It's good to second photographer, you know.
Right,
Cool,
right.
yeah.
So we'll see. We're just, like I said, we're packed right now, but
Whatever you need, man. This summer, I'm trying my best to fill up my schedule with anything I could do for activities because I'm still working in the morning and not doing anything during the day. So it's like, oh, and man, we have long days. Sunrise is like 5:30, and so like the sunset will go by 8:30 or something, and like almost 9. It's wild.
yeah, we just had the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, a couple days ago,
yeah.
and those long sunsets. Yeah, I won't get dark till 9,
Yeah,
and
that's it, man.
it's busy season for
Busy
us.
season, yeah.
You know, but I know you come over here a lot for Crown Brew.
Oh, Crown Brew. It's like,
Yeah.
shout out to Crown Brew.
Hey,
Favorite
there you
people.
go.
I got a coffee before I came here too. Yeah.
Everybody's got one.
I keep telling people over there because sometimes they don't, if they hire new people and they don't know me yet, I immediately introduce myself as their quality control manager. And so
I love that.
sometimes they believe it. I was like, seriously? And they start talking with the actual people. I was like, no, I'm just full of shit.
The secret shopper.
Sorry, but it's because I like to go there all the time. And Crown Brew, it's more like it's a coffee. It's the people. I got connected with the people in 2017 when I first met them, and I said, you know what? I even gave them a promise. I said, when I first met them, I said every Friday, because I didn't know they had a place in Carterville. I just saw them when we had Total Eclipse in 2017.
Okay,
they have a
yeah.
tent by the arena. I was walking with a couple of friends, and we stopped and started talking. And I think it was Josh and Jared. Shout out to them. And I
Shout out
started
Josh
talking
and
to
Jared.
them, and I got fascinated by the story. And I was like, you know what? Now it's a local, made a friend, new friends, and I kind of support a local. So I started going to Carterville every Friday for sure. Doesn't matter how many times I go during the week, but every Friday I make sure I'm there. And I started doing that. So since 2017, I've been with them all the time. And man, it's the people more than the coffee. I will just go there to hang out sometimes. Sometimes I'll just go and don't order anything because I was like having a rough day and I just want to go and hang out with people. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Good people.
Yeah, good people. Good business. Support local, always. Not just Crown Brew, every local place. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We love being right across the street. You can go there, come walk
Yeah.
right over here.
You're lucky you. It's like,
do
I don't
the
know how you
podcast.
save money. For me, I had to drive 45 minutes every day almost if I want to come. And it's like, it's crazy.
We've had to be more disciplined.
yeah,
in recent
man,
times.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's good coffee too.
It is good coffee.
Good ambiance.
Good coffee and good options too. They have lemonades too. If it's hot day, you get lemonades and it's
Ooh.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice. Yeah, coffee. It's not. Yeah.
And, you know, I think they were here, 2020?
Oh, Josh and Jared probably.
Yeah.
Came to Marion, their new location.
Oh, when they came to Marion, yeah.
Yeah. And so you
During
said-
COVID, when they have the pop up outside and just hanging
Right.
out with them, yeah.
in the alley. I remember that before when they were renovating still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to see it going, but it's the past 2 years was rough for every business. But for them to seem kind of accomplish a lot of things and grow, it's amazing. For a lot of businesses too, there's like a lot of new businesses, a lot of local people coming in. I don't want to miss names, but there's a lot of personal people who came with businesses, like even photography pages. People just start doing photography during COVID as like a part-time job, and they kind of earn money towards it. And people start like flowers company, and people start like picnic company. And it's like crazy. It's people just bloom. I hope just because they started and the ambition they have during COVID, they don't they don't lose it now, because now everything is going up and high. They're like taking the risk to shut down their business. I was like, don't do that. You started it in a rough time. It's gonna be easy. Just keep doing it.
You got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think the next 2 years will really show that.
That's what I'm. Yeah, if people will stick around, because, as you said, the next 2 years, if you stick around, if your business still kind of blooming,
and if you can grow, and
if you can grow, it will be amazing. Because if you shut down, you will miss it. Because it's like you wish you didn't stop it, man. But it's crazy. There's a lot of good idea they started and they just went down a little bit. But I hope they come back again. Yeah.
Well, we want to see more businesses, more community. We want this place to thrive. Want to bring people in like you from.
I'll try to. It's it's hard to find somebody. I don't want to talk about myself, but it's hard to find somebody, quality, good people, to bring them to kind of change the world. The I don't know if you remember. I'm a big fan of Ellen DeGeneres. People hate this when I say this, but I am big fan before I even came to the US. I kid you not, I was watching YouTube, her channel, all the time. I don't understand the language, but I was laughing, crying when she do anything funny or doing anything emotional supportive. I don't understand the English, but I was connected emotionally. It was weird. Then my goal when I came here was like to get really, I want to go visit LA. I want to go there and kind of visit. But just to get the message from her, because she always ends her show, be kind to one another. Okay? And I always trying to do that. Be kind to one another. You don't know what people go through every day. Be kind. You're going through a rough time, but it doesn't stop you to be kind to anybody else. I had a message in my car once in the back window. I just put, be kind to one another, because she say it all the time. Then I have, just keep swimming. You know who said just keep swimming?
Oh yeah.
Shout out Dory.
And who's Dory? It's
Finding Nemo. That's Ellen.
That's Ellen, exactly. So I had that. Yeah, be kind to one another, just keep swimming. And you know how much I got people honked at me because they liked the message in my car because of that. It's a good message. It's a good like if you put your heart and mind into it, even your life will become easier. People will start being kind to you because you were kind to other people. The universe is fair. Everything will fall into your way because you did, the right thing. It doesn't have to be in the right moment, but eventually it will come to your way because you were kind in that day, that time to that specific person. And it's really reflecting me because I always go through rough times. But I don't show it to everybody. There's no point to get mad at somebody who doesn't have to deal anything with my issues, So I've always keep smiling. People will ask you, how's your day? I was like, no, I'm still here, which is amazing. Some people still in bed, in the white bed. They cannot do anything. The hospital. I'm thankful that I woke up this morning and despite the issues I have with my life, I'm functioning. I could move. I'm not starving to death. I'm not, it's amazing. I'm thankful about this. So I always keep saying, be kind to one another and just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I always say that. It's funny. It's amazing.
That's a really amazing mentality to have.
It is.
Living life like that.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a household, a believer household, like a religious believer. And they believe in if you believe in a creator, in God specifically. Well, they're Muslims and they believe in Islam, and I do too. And they believe if you just set your mind and your goals in life and know that who's in control, you don't have to worry about anything. And remember who's being kind to you to let you live. So be kind to other people. And don't worry about what's going to happen next. I always forget this, but it's always a good reminder to say, you're not in control. Man, whatever you believe in, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, they're in control of your life. They already know what's going to happen next. So don't worry about what is it, just work towards it. It's going to happen. So the mentality of do I have to worry about what's coming up tomorrow? Sure, a little bit, but I don't have to worry about how to provide because I know who's providing. I worked towards it, make it sure it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen later. Yeah.
There's an infinite cup that's full there
Yeah.
that you can always go back to
Yeah.
and be refreshed again.
Man, you don't. Every time I keep saying it, every time I wake up, I was like, he gave me another chance to wake up. Some people sleep and they never wake up, so I'm really thankful about it. So
It's a really great perspective.
Yeah.
And I think having that diverse perspective will help you get to that realization.
In anything in life, in anything, job, work, marriage, relationship, anything. If you keep thinking about it that it's not gonna work because of anything not gonna happen, it's not logic, because everything you were in the womb before. You don't have to worry about anything. You came and now you're like growing up and doing everything. So yeah. But
it is written.
Speaking, it is written. I believe that. First thing that God created is I feel like it's the pen, and He wrote everybody's life.
Spoken to existence.
To the book, something like that. Yeah. Funny story when I mentioned Dory. So, as I said, big fan of Ellen DeGeneres. In 2016, me and my roommate and his dad went to LA to visit his sister, because she lives in LA too. She's going to school to be an actress. I think she graduated already. So it's all about LA and Hollywood and everything. So we went to Hollywood Walk of Fame. My whole goal is to find Ellen Starr. That's the whole goal. I was like, I gotta find it. You gotta find it on Instagram. If you scroll down a little bit.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. If you scroll down in 2000, it's gonna be a while. I post a lot, but you will find it. And you scroll down more. It's the first picture I took with the star. It's before the drone.
Because they're definitely not alphabetical up there.
It's before Utah. Let's go down a little bit more. Here we go.
Here it is.
There we go. Yeah, and I said the whole point of this trip, of course, Ellen show, be kind to one another. And I was so happy that I took that picture.
That's awesome.
Let's go ahead and like this.
Yeah, there you go. We'll put it on our story, and then no one will know until this comes out.
I didn't even have a lot of likes. It's nothing. It's like I was nothing at the time. Still, I don't have a bunch of likes, but it doesn't matter. My whole goal is to take a picture of that. 2 years later, when I went to Oregon, I said I'm going to visit my sister in LA. Well, when I say my sister, it's my adoptive family from up north, because she's basically my sister. It's my roommate. He's my brother now. So they live up north. But when I visit to my friend in Oregon, I said, I got to visit my sister because I'm so close to LA. Why not visit? So I went for 5 days. She was working, so I had to do some tour for the brother, Warren Brothers studio.
Wow.
And I did that. And normally, they do the whole tour about everything, Friends and Big Bang and everything. But for some reason, I'm a big fan of the Big Bang Theory show. So that time when I went, it was the last time shooting their last season. So we couldn't go to the Big Bang Theory. Instead, it was Tuesday. Tuesday is the off day for Ellen show. I ended up going to Ellen's studio. You cannot believe how excited. We didn't meet her, but I was crying. Like literally, I was like, "What the heck?" The universe is like, I was like so excited. I don't know if I have a picture or not, because probably not. Go a little bit up. It's gonna be more in 2017. So,
that's just crazy the way that all lines up like that. Just happened to be on that day.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, exactly. And I was excited because we were in a tour bus, and they said, unfortunately, we cannot do the Big Bang Theory. And I was frustrated. Like, we cannot do the Big Bang. But we're gonna do an Ellen show. I was like, oh my God, I'm a big fan of Ellen. And it was like,
fell into place perfectly.
Yeah, and I was like so happy. I hope there's a picture about it here. If not, no, it's before. Go
in
down.
LA, I mean, is that your first time in LA?
That's my second time in LA. Yeah.
Okay.
There's you with the plane.
It was go down. Yeah. So I was in Oregon. This is the picture from Oregon. I went to
That's Mount Hood.
Yeah, that's Mount Hood. And we went to some beaches. Cannon Beach, if you see it, the picture before it actually.
This one?
No, this is in
that's Malibu.
Malibu Beach. And you see the shirt. You'll see. I will tell you the story. So I was in Oregon first.
Wow.
And this rock, it's huge despite this picture. Like literally huge. And it's amazing. And the weather, man, it's August, but you have to wear a hoodie and wear a short. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh. And it's at the beach, man. It's amazing. Nobody's swimming because the water was a little bit cold, but that's beautiful. I don't know if you can zoom. There's a lot of birds over there flying by the top of the rock. It's not as clear as in the screen, but maybe you can see it in your screen.
Oops.
but that's all right.
A lot of nature.
Oh yeah, this is one of the big like spot. If you go to Oregon, you go to Cannon Beach.
I recognize it's kind of iconic place.
It is beautiful.
Imagery.
Like sometimes they do it for like movie shots and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I went to LA, I went to I forgot what's the name of it. We went to Urban Lights. I don't have a picture from Ellen. I have it in my phone. I can show it to you later, but I didn't have when I went to the studio. I have a picture like in her audience seat sitting there, and it's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you were watching her, I mean, for years.
Oh, for years until I kind of started school and stopped watching her. Just watching like YouTube once in a while, not all the time. I used to watch the actual show, but then I didn't have a cable. I was like, I don't want to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now she's in her last season, and it started to get into like, feels like it's acting. It's not as it used to be. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch it anymore. Also, I don't need the English anymore because I already have it. I was watching it for a reason, to get the English, the slang, the joke, the sarcasm. I was terrible with sarcasm. I don't know what people mean. I didn't get it. I was frustrated. I was really gullible too. I don't understand if people joking or not. So I was, but now people think I'm really good with sarcasm. So that's a good way.
It's improvement. You watch on TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge thing. I'm learning. Seeing it, doing it.
Yeah,
your brain will process that.
Big Bang Theory, actually, the show helped me with sarcasm because Sheldon Cooper, I can relate to him. He's not as good as understanding sarcasm, and most of the show they're trying to explain to him, which is kind of cool. Then they have Raj, and I put Raj as the Indian guy who's their friend, and I always compare myself to Raj because it's like the guy who's not from here, the brown guy who's hanging out with white people all the time, and he's having a hard time to understand even relationship with people, and he having a hard time finding a relationship with women, and man, it's crazy.
Connection there.
Yeah, connection.
Relatable.
Like, you don't understand what you're doing. If you do something, you might lead somebody wrong.
Yeah, that's
that's my favorite show. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other like favorite media, favorite movies, American culture that stands out?
Maybe people, I don't know, you probably watched it. So my favorite American movie, it's Forrest Gump. And the reason why it's Forrest Gump, it's like, because Forrest was going through rough times in his life. Man, he started with like not knowing how to walk and having issues, disabilities, and just keep running. Just keep running and run, Forrest, run. That's the best line in the movie, and I watch it literally every year just to remind me how life is really kind of challenging, and to see how people, despite if it's a true story or not, the way they actually put the movie together, it's amazing. So I kind of like it. This is my favorite movie, and I will be surprised. Like when I talk to the people and they said, "What's your favorite movie?" and I said Forrest Gump, they said, "We haven't watched it," and it's like, you're not American then. That's not right.
It's like the most American movie possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't think there's a new movie came that will top it for me.
It has so much good American history in there too.
Oh yeah.
The way
the war, even what is it?
There was the protest movement.
In Vietnam, Japanese, everything in it, and sports. Presidents, I think one of the presidents got into it. Some like president shot, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. There's a lot in it. Yeah,
Forrest got shot in the butt.
Yeah, he got in his butt. That's amazing.
From Alabama football, right? That's very American right there. That's some Americana.
Then my favorite season movie, it's Elf. Buddy Elf, the Elf Buddy, whatever his name.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. It's classic. Yeah. Man, it's amazing, and it's amazing. I watch it every year.
Christmas time.
Because they put it, for some reason, they put it in the TV Christmas time, so I don't have to look for it. So when I see it there, I'll just start watching it. Yeah.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah. I don't watch TV a lot, more like specific channels, I'm a big fan of AGT and BGT and like American Idol stuff. I only watch the first audition part. I don't watch when they follow up after who's winning or whatever. I just watch the first edition and that's it for everything. Like now it's a season for AGT, so I just watched that. I just watched it yesterday too. So also let's show that, and I kind of enjoy because you can see like comedians and magicians and artists and singers, and I just enjoy it.
It's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
Entertainment,
I've never thought I will be in one of them. I will never think that I'll be in one of them, but it's just part of me is like enjoying it, watching the people, how they react, how they different. Some people come with different stories too, so it's kind of cool. Yeah.
different, great production too.
Yeah.
It is, but it's all when you go and think about the background of it, it's all about money, all about publicity, all about like changing people like opinion on something. And I don't like that, but I like when people come and have different new idea, new art thing, new like magician, new like way to entertain people. I enjoy that. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Innovation.
Yeah, innovation. It's really amazing when you see people doing this. Yeah.
And thought and creativity and
thoughts
performance.
yeah, exactly.
So is there any innovations, anything, something you think that might be cool to like have here?
Like in Southern Illinois?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk based on aviation. I wish we have direct flights to go to bigger cities.
Chicago.
Chicago will be possible, but the problem is it's expensive. You don't know how many students. I was talking earlier this week with somebody about like, what if the school actually worked with one of the airlines and offer one flight in the end of the semester and one flight at the beginning of the semester, just to bring the student, fly them out to back home and back from home to start school. Just offer one flight and let the student book it from school. That'll be amazing because it will help, because student will talk, promote for the program. It's like, how did you come here? It's like flew from the program airports, and they'll ask you, what is it? It's one of the biggest in the countries, actually. Flight teams, it's for the past almost 11 years, we had them in the top 3.
It's one of the best programs
One of
in
the
the country.
best program in the country.
Bar none.
Yeah. It's like aviation. Like we had a lot of pilots graduation. We have a lot of mechanics graduation. It's amazing. I think we are only I have to make sure that this is the correct information, but we're the only school that offer helicopter maintenance specialization as a school, as a degree.
Really?
In the state.
Wow.
Yeah. So which is amazing. And there's a lot of people do it, which is really crazy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, SIU is probably the biggest draw for the region.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've always think if anything happened to school in general, budget or anything, shut down, whatever, the airport, they always have their own budget and nothing wrong will happen to it. Because the airport facilities, we have the automotive part, we have people who study automotive, and we have the aviation. And man, automotive is supported by like 16, 17 companies, big companies, and they will come every semester, bring their own cars to recruit a lot of students, and they support the program. The aviation too, we have 3 or 4 big companies, they come and they have new programs for the student. As soon as they graduate, they just go and train with them, which is amazing. Yeah.
That hands-on experience you can't get.
Job fair. We have every semester we have a job fair specifically for aviation. We have the big company will come and recruit people for internship, for even jobs, for it's amazing to just come and kind of recruit the student before they even graduate. You give them like the idea of like, when you graduate, we actually need you. And the industry in aviation, it's blooming. Everybody needs somebody right now. They're short of people. I don't know if you heard, there's like a pilot strike somewhere. They don't want to work because of a low payment, because after COVID, they shut down a lot of flights and not a lot of people making a lot of money. So there's a lot of people signed for retirement. So they're in need for new pilots. They might move some of the regulation for some students to hire them immediately, because in different schools, you have to have 1,500 hours as a student pilot to be able to even consider to get hired as a pilot for any airlines. But for our school, because we are part of the FAA, I think 301 or something like that, you don't have to have 15. It's only 1,000. Yeah. So if you have 1,000, that's mean you immediately can admit it to like any airlines, and you get trained in a specific airplane, and you can become a pilot with them.
Wow.
There's a big need for them right now.
Oh yeah. And I
fast track.
And I bet you
get them into the workforce.
I bet you they will kind of go down or ease down in the restriction to hire more people.
You see that across other industries too, kind of loosening up some of their more traditional requirements to let more of a general appeal or general person, because these people are having a hard time finding, like you mentioned earlier, good people to do the job right. And everybody wants the best people in their industry around them, connecting in their circles. And
it's fascinating the way how the industry works, because when you graduate, it used to be like this. When you graduate, most of the people are looking for experience. How do you expect me to get experience if you're not hiring me? Like I just graduated from school. If you only the requirement you want to get experience, like somebody who has 3-4 years experience, how you expect me to get it without you hiring me. At least hire me for train for at least a year or 2 years, but I know that I'm getting the job after. That would be amazing. Yeah, but I think they will ease down the experience part of it. It's like, because technically you were practicing flying all the time in school or fixing airplanes. That's mean you actually experienced. So you probably just need the main idea of like, practicing more and you know, they get hired. But
So do you think you'll stay in aviation?
I know I'm staying in aviation.
Yeah.
That's what I know. But what God knows, he's silly sometimes, so I don't know.
Sure.
So yeah, but you know, I graduated as an aircraft mechanic and specialized in avionics, like electricity in airplanes. And you know, every airplanes right now, it's more like electronics. So it's a big part. It's a big industry. And for my master's, I'm doing, as I said, aviation administration with public administration. So I could be an airport planner, you know, like safety assessment, you know, stuff like that. I see myself in the airport industry, in the aviation industry, but not for a while. Maybe another 5-10 years, then I could do something different. I've always have ideas about new innovation in aviation, like trying to find something new about safety, like about even like how to design airplane with more safety features, that if anything happened to an airplane, the passenger could be safe. You know what I mean? Like they always have research on this stuff. I've never have like came with an ideas yet, but I have a lot of kind of idea, but it's silly. It's like from movies, but you know, who made me believe in this idea can be possible? Elon Musk, man. Anything is possible, especially in the aviation field and any industry that you think you're gonna innovate it in a way that you think it's not imaginable, it could happen. Mm-hmm. So I wish I could be part of one of those things, because sometime I'll see stuff that happening right now. I was like, oh, I wish I thought about this before, but I never got the chance.
You have to make time for that.
You have to make time, and you have to have the right people around you to support your idea. You know, it's all about networking. If you don't have the right time, the right people to tell you about what to do, it's kind of hard. I remember in high school, one of my physics teachers, he asked me always, do you have any innovation in your mind? I kid you not, as silly as it is, I was thinking about warmers for toilet seats. And this is probably in 2010, maybe 2009. And he was laughing about it. It's like, you need something warm to make, like, heat the toilet seat.
Comfortable experience.
Yeah. And I literally thought about it. And I was like, yeah, why not? And he shut me down. He's like, no, because it's something for school. You have to innovate something so you can participate in it. So he shut me down. He's like, eh. So I forgot about it. Guess what? The Japanese came with it probably before me, but I didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. And now it's everywhere. When you go to a hotel, most of it, they have toilets, warm seat or whatever. So you sit comfortably.
Could have had $1 million idea.
Oh, man. I will be in Shark Tank immediately.
Yeah.
Just try it once. I'm sure, you know, you feel good on the backside.
I tried it many. It just helped, but I wish I came with something that will really benefit the people and, you know, help a lot. I have a lot of idea, but it's silly. But I don't want to say anything about it right now because somebody will steal it.
Don't give away.
Yeah.
You keep them.
Never give away. So that's what I wish. I wish to be innovate something that people will get used to it, especially in aviation safety in general. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Safety will be cool. It'll be a good experience. Yeah.
And hopefully that SIU airport can just grow.
It is growing, man. Recently, in 2017, when we had the last president visit, our airport kind of grew really fast in a way that we had a lot of company came. They changed the route to the airports. It grew. We built a new terminal. They just opened it maybe almost a month or something ago. Because of the president visit, and all of people from a different state came to see the president. So they say the airport, the school, and got interested in it. It's going to grow for sure. But for how long, we don't know. It's all about if people will come and just, you know.
The demand's there.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of enrollment. This past year, we had 172 new freshmen for aviation. We almost 4% more than the enrollment for SIU in general. It's amazing, yeah. It's crazy. The enrollment for school is good. It's all about word of mouth. When people talk about you in a good way, people will come and make sure that they want to be part of that industry. Yeah.
Word gets out.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
There's a lot of things.
You know, social media, like talking to people back home.
Oh yeah,
You know, that's a big thing too. People want to
it is.
check it out online before they go.
Yeah, I doubt people are interested in that because people now, especially back home, they know what I'm doing exactly, but they don't know what I'm actually part of. They know I'm studying aviation, but they don't know exactly what I'm doing exactly with aviation. Because I worked as a student worker for the aviation school for 3 years before I even got into grad school. And now I'm doing my GA, being a graduate assistant for the program. So I'm involved in most of their, not research, but most of like events coordinating, you know, preparing stuff, helping, moving stuff, and you know, communicating with a lot of people, networking. I met a lot of people, a lot of alumni. We had a, if you can see it here, so we have I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's a golf tournament we have every year for alumni, and they had it this past Monday in Chicago, and I was one of the people who help people to get into that. So I wasn't participating in a way of like going to Chicago, but I was putting everything together, including my boss with me, to load the stuff in the car, and you know, and like loading the pictures, the sign, everything, make sure everything is ready to take it there. And I was part of it, and I had to meet somebody who came from the alumni, and he looked at me. He's like, "You look different," and he said it this way. He said, "You look different. Where are you from?" And I said, "From Saudi." He said, "From Saudi? What are you doing here?" I was like, "Well, I work for the school." He said, "Good for you." I was like, they will never expect a Saudi, you know, because the whole perspective about a Saudi student, you're rich, you don't need money. You don't need to work anywhere because you're already rich. Matter of fact, I'm not that. Not everybody like that. So I was like, I was working to earn my money, and he got interested to know me more and talk with me more, and he gave me his business card. He said, "When you graduate, just contact me." And we don't know what's going to happen after. He's not helping. He's not. It's not helping. He's not working yet, or maybe he retired. But he is willing to send my name and mention my name around the people he knows that we probably would be interested.
Help you get your foot in the door. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Getting a reference, the right reference can make all the difference.
It is a big network thing because
Can vouch for you.
We have a saying. In the airport. We said, wherever you're gonna go, you're gonna find a Saluki in the airports. Despite where you go, like in the US, it's guaranteed you'll find a Saluki at the airports. Either pilot, management, anything, ground control, you'll find a Saluki who graduated from SIU who work in any airport in the United States. It's guaranteed you'll find somebody else internationally too, because of course there's a lot of international. They work in different airports, but it's amazing because everywhere. Because if you wear an SIU shirt and walk in any airports, somebody will come to you. It's like, "Are you a Saluki?" Yeah, so it's amazing.
That's cool. The SIU alumni connection is just, there's so many amazing,
and it's not just in the
people out in the
it's not just in the
world.
aviation. It's school in general, because somebody maybe will be studying business or management. They will still work at the airport, you know, managing something, and they will see your shirt and they're still a Saluki. You know, it's amazing.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs always.
Hey.
That's right.
Wait, almost like that.
There it is.
That's a new sign.
Oh,
Dogs.
that's
Go
nice.
Dogs. Yeah. It's like
Shout
that,
out,
yeah.
Always, it's been good chatting with you, man.
It's good chatting
yeah,
with you.
dude.
I feel like there's a lot of stories I didn't mention yet, but we're running out of time, and so whatever you need, just ask, and probably we'll come up with a story then.
Is there anything, any advice that you'd give yourself when you first came here, or anybody else that may be wanting to put themselves out there, have this mentality of that you're going to be kind, you know, have kindness, keep swimming?
Oh yeah. So when I first came here, I kid you not, first day, for some reason the Cecil, it was having a bad reputation. Cecil, the English school, is Center of English School as a Second Language. They have a bad reputation towards the Saudi student, and it's bad because some people will have bad experience and will try to tell other people, and it's not fair because they didn't experience it yet. So you don't know. Everybody have different experience. So I came maybe the second day actually. I met a guy. He's from the same country I was in, and he was probably advanced. He was doing PhD or maybe master's. He was visiting too. He wasn't even go to school. I don't know his name, and it's a lesson for me because when I first told him that I'm coming for Cecil, immediately he told me, "You made a huge mistake, Cecil. You're gonna basically bury yourself. You're not gonna leave. If you go there, you're digging yourself in a hole. You're never leaving." So I was like frustrated. I kid you not, left the place, calling my dad, crying, saying, "Hey, I want to leave." And he said, "Are you crazy? We just, send you and stuff like that." I was like, "That's what happened. This guy told me I'm not going to succeed. They're going to put me in their mind and I'm not going to pass anything." He said, "Don't listen to him." I was young. I was 18, 19. I wasn't even understanding life in general. I was like influencing by different other people. I wasn't even sure. But his message kind of stuck in my head all the time until now. Every time somebody mentioned Cecil, I remember his story. I wish I see him now and tell him what I'm doing. Because definitely it's all about your experience, not everybody's experience. Some people fail a lot, and I failed a lot in English school. It's because me not doing the right job. Because I've seen people in classmates, they will pass, and I'll see myself, I'm not passing. It's like, I know they're not selecting. We're from the same country. I know they're not racist, but we're in a different level of studying. He was studying more than I am, and he passed, and I'm not passing. So the issue, it's me. It's not Cecil. Mm-hmm. So I put that in mind, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to work hard and prove everybody, it's all about your own experience. It's not about the person having the issues, because everybody have a little different experience. But don't try to influence me based on your experience, because I probably will succeed, but you probably not, because of whatever. And when I graduated from the English school, I still remember, I keep telling myself, remember the time when you thought that you will never be able to speak English or understand any people speaking English. And I said, it's something in the past, man. I can't believe it. Now it's part of the brain. It's amazing. I feel like the brain is switching and unswitching the language. I used to think in Arabic and trying to translate it and speak in English. Now I don't even think in Arabic. It just come out. The word came out in English. And if I want to talk in Arabic, I start talking in Arabic. I was like, the brain, man, it's amazing. It's just how more you work, how more you actually, the mentality again. If your goal is to actually learn, you will succeed. So the advice is, don't listen to any bullies. Don't listen to anybody who's trying to discourage you of doing your dream. That's never. Because they have a different part in their life. They have a different journey. You definitely have a different journey. So don't even listen to them. I just want to end in one funny story about culture. Yeah, I know I like to talk a lot, but
it's good. It's all great stuff.
Good podcast here.
I hope you're having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good culture. It's a good story about different culture. Okay, so I was going on a trip in 2019 with 3 of my friends, Logan, Jackson, and Peter. Shout out to those people. We slept in one tent, remember? I hope they listen to this. I don't know. It was an amazing trip. So we went to 9 different states, road trip. The goal is to stay in Colorado, camp there, and to drive back in a different way. So we went cross and stayed in Colorado for a couple of days, actually for the 4th of July in 2019. Then we drove back in the other way instead of going to the same way. So we went through New Mexico, Amarillo, Texas, and Oklahoma, and so far. So, in the trip, the only person was driving was Peter, because he was driving his car and he was driving a stick. No one of us know how to drive a stick, so he was driving all the time. So, and we visited a lot of places, we hiked a lot of places, and he was driving all the time, and we were joking all the time. Anyway, when in the way back, Logan and Jackson was talking to Peter and said, "Peter, you're an animal. You're really an animal. You drove all the way." And I was in the back, confused, if it's a good word. I was like, my eyes like, oh, they're going to start a fight. Oh, they're going to start a fight, because they were calling him an animal. And I was like, guys, hold up. What do you mean he's an animal? No, he's not. And they asked me, what do you mean? I was like, back home, if you call somebody an animal, basically, if you're not joking with them, basically you're trying to start a fight. You calling somebody an animal? That's not right. And they
That's subhuman.
Yeah, it is. It's like they start laughing at me. I was like, wow, this is like it's a different culture experience that we experienced at that time. And I bet you they tell this story every time they introduce you to somebody that they like somebody new. So they told me the different, like if somebody told you you're an animal, that's you working hard, you're doing something really hard and something like that. Totally different perspective. So now we call each other. It's like if they say an animal, it's like a Saudi way or an American way. You know, we look at each other, and he said a Saudi way. So I'll start like flinch at him, start a fight. It's a good one of one of the good culture. Funny story that I had with American, like pure American people, like when they talking about different culture. And it was good because I was the one who's confused, not them. Because if I say the animal, meaning that I want to fight with them, they will think it's a compliment. But it came from them, so I was like in the middle of it, and I was confused. I was like, wait a second. It's amazing, you know.
That's the clash of the cultures.
Oh,
That's
yeah. There's a lot of big different cultures, but now I feel like, because I've been here for almost 10 years now, I feel like I'm part of this culture. And I'm definitely not willing to change people, but I'm willing to change people's heart in a way of like how I'm gonna act towards them, towards their culture, whatever they think, whatever they think of me. It's always about the act. I've never tell anybody my religion or my belief until they get to know me more. Then they will figure out themselves. Because if you tell somebody what do you believe immediately, they might judge you based on that. That's wrong, but it's part of a human nature. You will judge them based on it, and anything they will say, they might reflect their understanding of it. So for me, I've never, not anymore. I don't introduce myself as, hey, I'm that person representing that and that and that. People will get to know you, and when they get to know you, they understand where you're coming from, and they will appreciate it more, and they will get more clear picture about what do you believe, where are you from, your culture, and the understanding, you know. So that's me in an eggshell. So I'm trying to change people's heart by the way I'm acting towards them. I don't care what they act towards me. I don't get easy like to offended. So people ask me a lot of weird questions. I was like, hey, don't worry about it. I can answer it. So it's really it's all about them. It's like how they react to me. So yeah,
I think you can't go wrong with that mentality and that attitude. I think you're going to be a winner in life.
It's definitely changed me and changed the perspective of me for life. Like even if I end up going back home, I call this home though. I call Southern Illinois home. Like I went back home twice, and every time I was back home, I was like, when I'm gonna go back home. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I grew up here. I'm mixed of two different cultures. Despite like I'm not born here, and it's totally different. But I grew up around the people, and I got the culture from it. I got to know the people from here, not just because of the school, just people from here. So I wish if I go back home that I don't forget this culture, and I don't even try to change my own culture. I want to influence people to understand the different cultures together without judgment. That's what I hope. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I think you'll do it.
Man.
Just keep living that mentality.
I keep living that mentality. The problem is it's hard to change a lot of people.
Well, you're not going to change people.
Oh, you're not going to change people,
everyone.
But yeah, exactly. You start with the people next to you, because I don't want to start an evolution. I'm definitely not that person at all. I don't want to be like I could be an influencer, but I don't want to start an evolution to anything in any way. It's just me to act kind all the time. And when you act, that's a good one. When you act good all the time towards any people with a pure good heart, it will come back to you, from them or from different else. It will come back immediately. People don't believe in karma. I do.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe in karma big. If you do anything stupid, later it's gonna come. It's gonna hunt you down. Maybe now, maybe later. It's gonna come. But if you do something really good, it might come soon than you expected. It might take years. So, yeah.
Stay on the pursuit and that journey.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
You can't wrong. No.
Keep swimming.
Yeah. Be kind and keep swimming always. That's my name, Always. I want to shout out, if you don't mind. Yeah. So I can shout out to the people who's listening, everybody who's around me, everybody who's who gave me the opportunity to get to know them and change me and my brain and my thoughts about the word and how to understand people. Shout out to my family back home. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to my family here. Shout out to my friends here. Everywhere. Man, the universe is fearful. So be thankful what you have, and be kind always. Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Thank you always.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
Thanks
thank
for being
you.
here.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks
It's been a
Reese.
great
Thank you for being here,
conversation,
man.
I
man.
That was
appreciate
awesome.
it. Thank you so much.
We'll have to have you back on
Yeah.
and hear more of the story.
Yeah, it'll
as
be
we keep
amazing.
doing this.
Come talk about photography more. So
Exactly. Get into more of your photography.
yeah,
What's in the future? What's in store?
yeah.
So thanks
I hope
always.
so. Yeah, thanks.
Make sure you subscribe to this podcast.
Yeah, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah.
Anybody find you on social media?
I really don't need the publicity.
Don't need a promo.
But if people are interested to know my life, because my social media is basically my life. I don't hide anything. Everything I do, it's in social media. So,
Check them out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Reese.
What is
Hey.
it? Yeah. What? Good to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. You should have ended with the ACDC, but that's all right.
Oh, you're